through my divorce. This is going to help somebody. Okay. As I was going through my marriage, you go through different challenges. And a lot of times, as you go through those challenges, because of sometimes how we've grown up, we think there's like a need of perfection, right? And so, as I was navigating through my marriage, I suffered in silence. I didn't tell nobody. I just was like, yeah, nah, it's just me, and I was going through this. I felt like that process a lot of times by myself. And as I begin to come out of that, the Lord began to deal with me about accountability and allowing people to hold me accountable. But it wasn't just to my goals and my dreams, but also to my mental and my emotional state. And so, accountability is important in every area of your life.
Yes.
And so I have accountability as business partners. I have accountability in ministry. Like, I'm not out here just, oh, let me just out here doing life at the well. No, I have people that can snatch me, grab me, pull me, but that will also pray and pour into me. And so accountability is important because sometimes, especially for your emotional state, as you're navigating being a business owner and birthing out a baby, like, there's so many emotional, there's so many ups and downs. Like, I started writing this book when I first got pregnant with my daughter 13 years ago, and I started writing out what was happening to my body. That's how this book came about. And the Lord began to do me about the stretching, and I was uncomfortable and I was cramping, and I was like, oh, I don't like this. And then as I began to go, the weight got heavy and the baby got heavier. And I'm like, I can't walk. My feet are swollen. Like, I was just so uncomfortable. And so I needed a partner. And it was difficult because I didn't have a partner, but I needed a partner that could help me navigate through that moment. And I'm grateful for the people that stepped in, my father-in-law, my mom, my dad, my sister. They were going to appointments with me. But it was difficult because who I wanted, I'm going to say this again, who I wanted to be in the room, who I wanted to support me and help me, couldn't be there. But if I would have rejected that help, I would have been even more miserable. And so the reality is, as you navigate this walk of pregnancy and birthing out, it can be tough. Hear me. It can be tough, but it's not impossible. And so, I just want to encourage somebody today that is struggling in a place. And this is why I keep going back to this, because I know that somebody needs to hear this, is that I need you to birth anyway. I need you to give birth anyway. I know that who was supposed to be with you is not with you, but I need you to give birth anyway. This birthing thing, like you said from the very beginning, is not something that nobody can help you push this baby out. But as it pertains to accountability, they can help to nurture you. And so accountability is not control. Accountability is support. And so when I left this one ministry, I went to another ministry, and I named them. I went to Faith Temple #2, Pastor Korth Nelson and Lady Renee Nelson. And when I got there, I've been preaching, teaching all the things all my life. I wasn't new. But when I got there, his thing was, I'm concerned about where you are emotionally. I know you can preach, I know you can teach, but I wasn't ready yet. And so he literally had to walk me through a place of healing until I was ready. But he held me accountable. Okay. He held me accountable. And the best thing about this is, when I got too comfortable, I tell y'all in the book, when I got too comfortable and I was like, I'm not ready, he said, no, yes, you are. Because I got comfortable and I was not ready. And so you have to have people that are around you that can see beyond where you are, that can see beyond your discomfort, that can see beyond your comfortability. Because I was in that moment. I was like, I'm not ready to sing. I'm not ready to get up before the people. And he was like, yeah, you sat long enough. It's time for you to get up. Because many times you got gifts and talents and visions that you're sitting on, but you need to have people around you that have the ability to see what you can't see. And so they're not trying to control you, but they're here to support you. And so when I was saying, oh no, I'm gonna sit down, he was like, nope, I thought you told me you was gonna give God a yes. I thought you told me that you were gonna do this for real this time. And he held me to my word. And so you need people around you that are going to rally around you, that no matter what it looks like, feels like, sound like, that's going to be like, get up. And so I started this accountability group because I got tired of looking on my timeline and seeing people say they didn't reach their goal. I don't got no help. Nobody's helping me. And the reality is that there should have been hundreds of people in this group, because I'm literally, for a whole month, I've coached people for free.
Yes.
And my best friend told me, she said, why would you do that? She was like, you have more than enough content. You got all the things to be able to offer this, and people will pay you. She said, why would you offer this? I said, I'm just going to obey because I want to help people. And so I got tired of seeing people be on the sideline and not be in the game. And when I tell you, this has been the most, I'm going to post their a lot of their reviews and their wins. But we got people that got LLCs, DBAs, business plans within 3 weeks.
Websites.
They went and filed their LLC for their name for their businesses. And so I'm watching people's lives literally be transformed by somebody being there that's going to hold them accountable, that's being a midwife. And so from this, I'm getting ready to start. I normally do one-on-one coaching, but I'm literally getting ready to start January the 19th. I'm starting a group coaching cohort that literally is going to take you from the conception of whatever you're trying to do into the delivery. It's going to be a 3-month program that is going to be every single week. And I'm going to hold you to your word. But you're also going to have a community of people that's going to hold you to your word. But my thing is that I don't like listening to people talk about where they want to be. I'm not a talker. And anybody that know me, oh, I'm not a talker. And you're not going to come around me and keep talking about what you want to do and what you want to achieve and the things that you desire to do without me stepping in and saying, hey, listen, X, Y, and Z is going to help you get you there. And so that's why I wrote this book. This book literally gives you the step-by-step. It's like, it's not one of those boring reads where it's like, oh, like it's a lot of fluff. No, I get straight to the point. And I'm going to tell you, do this, then you're going to do this, and you're going to do this, and then you're going to do this, and you're going to see your baby. And even if within those 3 months, I don't see the manifestation of it completely, I can tell you that you are going to see the fruits and the results of the beginning of your start. That's going to help you set you up from now until the end of the year. And so this book to me was the ending of a thing that launched me into the beginning of something else. And so sometimes on this journey, you have to be comfortable with cutting something else off and allowing something else to be birthed. And so sometimes things will get to a place where your baby has matured. Right now, in the beginning, you can't leave that baby by itself. Right? Y'all trying to give y'all babies away and your baby can't even stand on its own. And you haven't even created the systems for your baby to be able to stand. That's in the book too. And so the reality is that accountability is not control. Accountability is not a cuss word, but accountability is support. And everybody should have somebody in their life that is willing to hold you accountable to your word. You need somebody that's going to hold you accountable to your vision. You need to have somebody to hold you accountable that says, listen, you cannot afford to abort this baby. You cannot afford to miscarry this baby. You be out here doing all the things for all the people. Meanwhile, your baby is dying. How dare you go give somebody else's baby a bottle? And your baby ain't got no bottle. And I know, let me just say this. I love the church, grew up in it, love it, teach it, love the word of God, right? But the reality is this. The church has taught us love, but the church did not teach us boundaries. And so we have gotten to a place sometimes where we have to unlearn some things. Go get the book. It's in the barriers, where you have to unlearn some things, because the reality is this. I can love you and still have boundaries. I can love you and still make sure that my needs get met, because many of us have depleted ourselves to make sure somebody else has what they had. I remember having another vision where the Lord showed me a picture, and I literally poured into everybody's cup. And when it got to my cup, there was nothing left. And when I tell you,
Mm.
the harsh reality is God told me, this is what your life looks like. You go and you pour into everybody else's cup. Meanwhile, your cup is empty. I had to stop going around. Let me help you ladies out. Now, I'm gonna help y'all out. Y'all single ladies that's on the line. I don't know if it's a couple of y'all. I had to get out of going and building up these things for these men that ain't my husband.
Mm.
Listen, I'm transparent. If y'all don't know, I tell on myself. I've been in spaces where my stuff went lacking because I'm thinking, oh yeah, we're gonna be together, but you're not my husband. And I'm making sure I'm building up businesses, I'm doing all the things. And meanwhile, my stuff is dying.
Mm.
Relationships, yeah, you my friend, and I done built out a full business for you. And meanwhile, my stuff not together. How am I putting together your videos and my videos not together? So there is a thing called boundaries. And boundaries is not a bad thing. It's okay to establish boundaries, because I promise you, without boundaries, you will not see results.
You know, guys, as we're listening in this today, one, if you are not sharing this on your social media, sharing this video and what we're talking about today, I want you to take time and make sure that you share this so that other people can participate and see this. Even if they're catching the tail end of it, they can always go back and watch this. This is powerful. When we talk about get this boom, get this baby out of me, we're going to be able to help somebody dearly. So make sure that you are sharing this on social media. We have a movement going on. We talked about accountability. Y'all heard how passionate she was about accountability. And I'm going to tell you why I want you all to dearly, please share this Facebook post. If you're on Facebook, if you're on my YouTube channel watching, share it. You can copy it, paste it, share it on your different social medias, text it to people, because the passion that you heard in her talking about accountability, having someone to coach you, guide you, the different things she's been doing with the group of us for this month of December, and what she's getting ready to do January 19th to start up that other process with a whole nother group. And it's even more detailed. We had success with what we did in December, but what she's getting ready to do in January is going to be on a whole nother level. And so the passion you heard, the seriousness you heard, I want you all to know that that is why I call her a bully. So I need you all to share this because I want you all to feel my pain.
Good.
I want you all to go through
them to feel it, so they'll move.
What I go through. And in all seriousness, you need somebody who is going to make you uncomfortable and push you to where you need to be. I don't want someone that's just going to pat me on the back and tell me it's going to be okay when it's not okay. No. I want someone to push me to my destiny. And if you need someone to help push you, to help be a doula, to help you get this baby out of you, then Takara Nicole is that person. And so
I want to say something, because you actually, and let me tell you, this is why I tell people when they say, like, well, how long does it take? The coaching will move as fast as you're willing to move. Okay. And so when I started working with Coach Steele, I gave him a deadline of December 31st. I want y'all to know that everything that he needed to set out to do, for the most part, everything was finished in 1 month. In 1 month. From his logo to his website, to his pricing plans, to his coaching programs, to the outlines of almost the completion of his book, to his t-shirt designs, in 1 month. And so it will work as fast as you're willing to put in the work. But if you're not going to be intentional, it's not going to work. And so I need you guys to get this in your head as it pertains to giving birth. It takes intentionality. This is not going to be something where you can sit on your couch and say, oh, it's just, I'm waiting on God. The Bible says from the beginning, right? From the very beginning, I got to give y'all Bible. Okay. From the very beginning, the Bible already gave us dominion. From the very beginning, the Bible he already gave the instruction for us to be fruitful and multiply. There's not any more instruction that you need besides what he's already given us. He already has given us dominion. He's already told us, hey, go be fruitful and multiply. And being fruitful and multiply goes beyond having babies, but being fruitful and multiplying means there is seed inside of us. Right? And seed inside of seed, and there's seed inside of seed, and there's seed inside of seed. And so as you begin to give birth to the one thing, there is seed inside of the thing that you gave birth to, and then there's seed inside of that thing. And so I want to encourage y'all today, hear me, that there's seed inside of you. And so you can't sit around waiting on God like, oh, God, when do you want me? No, God, he already gave you the instructions. Absolutely. Timing is going to be everything. And you'll be able to adjust based off of what do you have the capacity to handle in a moment. But the reality is that there is no other instructions but to go. Go build, go do. But what I put on my status yesterday is this. I said, the reality is that the Lord told Abram to do what? He said, go. And he said, when you go, I'll show you.
Go to a place and there I will show you.
And there I will show you. The problem is this. You want all of the instructions before you gonna go. And the reality is that you're not always going to have I don't have all the instructions. I don't have all the answers. All I have in my spirit is a go. All I know is that he put something in me and I'm moving with it. And I don't have time to think about everybody else. One of my favorite quotes in this book, I'm going to read it. I'm going to give back to Steele, is when your achievements don't look like someone else's, you might forget the value of what you have created. And so many of us have devalued our babies because you're looking at somebody else's baby and you think that your baby is not important and you think that your baby is not going to thrive. And I remember when my baby was 2 and somebody else had a baby was 2 and they want to compare our babies. It's in the book. You want to compare the babies and well, my baby does this and my baby does that and my baby does this. I don't care what as long as my baby is healthy and growing and moving, that's all that matters. And so sometimes you want to get with people and you never want to be in circles where you're comparing babies. You never want to be in circles where we're comparing our visions and purpose, because everybody has its own purpose. You have your thing. You have your own fingerprint. Nobody else has your fingerprint but you. And so you want to leave your imprint in the earth. You want to leave your imprint. I don't want to go around and I'm trying to use Steele's imprint and what Steele got going on. It's not going to match up when they see the face. When they go pull those fingerprints, they're looking for the face to see who aligns. I feel God. They're looking to see who aligns. And many of us are trying to use other people's blueprints. You're trying to use other people's things. And the reality is that when it comes out, when it comes to it, guess what? There is no alignment. The face don't match what you putting out. And so I have learned how to walk in my lane, stay in my lane, and go with my go.
Go with your go. If that's all God gives you is a go, learn to go with it. And you're not late, Lisa, because you can always go back and watch it again. And we definitely appreciate, and we have a few more minutes, guys. I don't want to take up much more of Takara's time, but there's a lot that you just said there, and I'm trying not to dive too deep, because if I dive into where you dive, then we both gonna be preaching. And
listen, I'm gonna give y'all a word. If I don't give you,
I know me, I know you, and I know us. So it don't take too much to go there. And so when it comes to get this baby out of me, first I want you to be able to tell people where they can get the book. Also, if people are interested in what you have going on in January or other future events as well, I want you to let them. That's a lot of information. Yeah, one about the book, and then 2 about what you have going on in January. Where can they go to sign up?
Absolutely. Okay, so you can go to my website and grab a book. So takaranicole.com. And if you would like, and I would say that if you would like a signed copy, go to the website. Of course, if you go to Amazon, I can't sign it. But if you go to takaranicole.com, you can order on there. It's also on Amazon. I just recently launched it on Kindle. So if you have a Kindle and that's how you prefer to read it, there's the Kindle version and there's also the paper version that is on Amazon. You can also go to my website, which he has pulled up, as you can see, takaranicole.com. And I have numerous courses, classes. I have planners. I have other books I have written on there as well. But for the class that's happening in January, it is actually listed now. You can go on there. You can private message me. Send me a message on the website if you're interested. The class that's starting January the 19th is going to be virtual. Okay, it's going to be virtual. Um, yes, it's under courses, online courses. It's starting in January, and we're going to meet every single week. If you start the class, you'll also get a copy of the book, as well as a digital planner I created, as well as a digital workbook. All
Oh,
right.
wait. So if they do the course, they get what?
They get a copy of the book, they get a digital planner, and they also get a digital workbook. So all
Okay.
of those things come with it as well. It is entitled the Vision Lab. And so I'm extremely excited about this. I have done one-on-one coaching for the last 5 years. And so I felt like this is going to be a better way. I like the idea of building community. What I've seen in this accountability group in the community we have created and how we've been able to rally around one another has been amazing. And so I wanted to do the same thing with this cohort. So for 12 weeks, everybody will be together and we are going to work through our visions. I have guest speakers. Actually, the guy that published and edited my book, he's going to be one of the week speakers. He's going to help you guys. So if you have a book, you're trying to write your book, he's going to come and give you the step-by-step on how to write your book. I have someone that's going to come and talk about team building, being exhausted to excelling, removing leeches. And so I have so many finance, Coach Steele, and so I have so many guest speakers that are going to join me over the next 12 weeks as well. Everybody, and I'm going to give this away. Everybody that does sign up for the Vision Lab will get a free one-on-one. All right. And so my one-on-ones are typically $350 an hour. But everybody that signs up for this cohort, it will include a one free session so that we can go through everything that we've done. But this is definitely, I'm an organized person. All right. So you're not joining just any old type of coaching program where, it's like, oh, no, we have homework assignments that you have to complete. You will be enrolled in a course that has assignments that are due every week, and you're going to have to submit your assignments to the portal. And so that I'm able to see what you're completing, what you're actually doing. And so this is a very organized way. But I promise you, those of you that are struggling, that you're trying to get your organizations off the ground, you're trying to get your businesses off the ground, those of you that are trying to start coaching programs, start mentoring programs, this is the cohort you want to be in. I just helped Coach Steele. You see where Coach Steele is? I just helped him. Has his coaching program. I've helped plenty of people. I'm not a person. I'm not a hoarder. And anybody that's taken my class will tell you, I'm giving it all to you because I just believe that whoever is assigned to me is assigned to me. So it's not my job to gatekeep. Once you pay for the class, you're in the class. And so I'm excited. Those of you also, I'm telling you this, those of you that also pay for the cohort, I didn't talk to my team yet, but they're going to just say what I say, and they're going to love me for it. Those of you that come into this cohort, you will get a free ticket to my March conference in Baltimore. So if you're trying to get to Baltimore or if you're in the Baltimore area, if you sign up for this cohort, I do have an event March the 7th through the 8th in Baltimore. You will get a free ticket. All right. So I'm letting you guys know that now. So those are the two things that I have coming up. But I also do free webinars all the time, y'all. Listen, I give out too much free information for y'all to be stagnant. I'm gonna be honest. So if you're not following me, y'all need to follow me right now. I'm always dropping gems. I promise y'all, I have to compensate myself. Let's be honest. But the passion that I have behind helping people birth out their promise and their purpose and whatever it is they're called to do, there's not enough money that you can pay me to do this. And I'll tell you this, the reason why coaching is different from mentoring is because as a coach, I can see what you can't see. Okay. I'm telling you how to navigate the game. And so sometimes as mentors, they kind of give you the emotional aspect. You know, you have your preachers are going to give you the spiritual aspect. But as a coach, it's my job to see what you can't see. And so the best thing about the type of coach that I am is that I'm gonna be honest, right? I have prophetic insight. I'm listening to God at the same time. And I told somebody this, I told you guys this a couple weeks ago. I said what I didn't like about myself, I realized was my superpower. And so my ability to see, I kept on saying, like, he called me a bully. I'm like, God, I always feel like I got to be the person that comes in and navigates certain things. And I got to say this and I got to bring order. And I always got to be and I've always been the one that's the hard on. They're like, oh, Takara's coming. Oh my God. Now
Oh
she's about to
Lord.
come. What's she about to say? My dad used to
Woo.
be like, oh Lord, here comes Takara, you know. But the reality is that y'all love me in the end because I am the person that knows how to bring order to chaos. I know how to see what you can't see, and I know how to execute. And so I'm excited about this cohort. I'm excited about the community that I'm building. If you guys could be in this accountability group and see how we champion one another, we're rooting one another on. People are losing weight. Listen, it's not just about it wasn't just about the business, but whatever you wanted us to hold you accountable. We had 2 people in the group that lost 10 pounds, y'all, already. 10
Yes.
pounds, you know? And so I'm grateful that God has used me as a midwife to help you guys birth out your purpose. And so listen, if you're interested, send me. I'm super personable. So don't think I'm just like out here somewhere that you can't reach me. I'm not, it ain't that deep. I told y'all I got capacity. So I know a lot of times people are like, I just didn't want to talk with you. I didn't want to reach out to you. Listen, I have capacity. This is what I'm called to do. This is what God has given me to do. And so because he's given me to do it, you're never really a bother. I may tell you, hey, let me get back to you in a minute or a second or whatever. I might be doing hair, but I will always make time to talk to you and communicate with you if you're just trying to figure out if this program is even right for you. Because I talk about timing is everything. I would never want somebody to spend money on something if they don't have the time to work through it. Okay, so if you're just like, hey, is this program for me? Is this something I could do? Listen, reach out. Let's have a conversation. Let's drop do a discovery call and just kind of see where you are. If you're like you're not interested in group coaching and you prefer one-on-one, I have someone that's doing that now. They're like, I don't want to do that. I do one-on-one coaching as well. Right now, my capacity, I'm being honest, I only have space for 2 more people. All right. So if you prefer one-on-one, I do only have space for 2 more people. Other than that, I'm pushing everybody to this group coaching, which you don't get anything less. Listen, you can ask anybody that's in my accountability group. I have literally spent an hour and a half to 2 hours coaching each and every person individually. And accountability is not coaching, right? I'm just listening, but I'm literally telling them, like, hey, do this, do this, do this. So listen, I am excited about where this is going. I want y'all to go get this book. Not because I wrote it, because God wrote it. He gave it to me, and he was very strategic about when he wanted this book to come out. This book came out in September, in the 9th month. This book was birthed.
Yes.
And on the 9th month, he told my book signing was 9/7. It was on the 9th month, the 7th day. So I'm excited because I know that the nuggets and the things that are in this book are going to help y'all give birth, and not only give birth, but break through the barriers that have been holding you back from why you haven't given birth. And so a lot of times I always start in my coaching. I'll say this before we go. In my coaching, I always start with mindset, because if your mind is not right, nothing that you give birth to is going to sustain itself. And so the first thing in this book about the conception of a thing is about breaking barriers. It's about mindset, because you have to unlearn some things. You have to condition your mind to be able to take in so that the baby can sustain itself.
And I actually got a testimony from someone in the Plan and Prosper mentorship
Yeah.
group. I'll read it. It was just sent in on Facebook. Anitra said, Plan and Prosper mentorship has helped me analyze my schedule and discover the time to work on my business. I didn't just set the goals, I committed to them by using the SMART method, which we talked about earlier. I mapped out the business goals and created strategies for my business. It's also been extremely exciting and encouraging to witness all the wins of my P&P mentorship family.
Oh
It's been infectious. It's your circle. Surround yourself with the right mindset. Invest in yourself. It works and it's worthy work.
Wow. That is amazing. Thank you so much, Anitra, for that review. Honestly, that really that makes my heart feel good that just in y'all, and that was just 30 days. So we're talking about 90 days of work. Can you imagine the amount of work that you can get accomplished within those 90 days? And so we are having our last session on Sunday, but you talk about 30 days and just watching the transformation of these lives in the last 30 days has been absolutely amazing. And so, like I said, I don't want us to keep being on the sideline. Don't keep watching other people do things. God is giving something for you to do, and you keep on watching other people, walk out what they're doing. You're like, I wish I could do that. I wish that could be me. It must be nice. No, it is nice because they put in the work. And I've gotten that plenty of times. People like, it must be nice. Yeah, it is nice. You know why? Because I sacrificed to be where I am, and I was willing to do the work to be in this place. And so I make no apologies, and I don't want you to make no apologies when you begin to walk out your God-given purpose. Because when you can look back over your life and see what you did not do, and then you can see how now all the things that you've desired to do, you're able to do. It is nice. And so when they say it must be nice, absolutely.
It
It's
is
beautiful
and
because
is.
I sacrificed and I worked to be in this place. And nobody was there in them late night moments when I was editing a book. And let me be honest, I wrote this book, but I had just wrote another book 2 years prior to this book. And right before that book, I had just wrote a book. So I feel like I've been just writing a book and writing a book. And so I wasn't concerned about writing no book. I was like, no, I'm gonna finish that in 2025. I'm not doing it. But it was imperative that before the year was out, I knew the Lord wanted me to write this book. There's a girl, she's not on the line right now. She literally sent me a message, said, hey, my book has arrived. She stayed up all night and read my book in one night. By the next morning, she sent me a text and was like, oh my God, I have so much work to do, but I'm ready. And so we're just giving you a little testimony of like how much this book has influenced other people's lives. And like I said, I'm a very transparent person. I tell people too, sometimes I would be real transparent if my story didn't involve other people, because I believe that my story will help people. And I believe the more transparent I am, and honest I am, it will help people understand, hey, I'm just like you. I know people, you view people sometimes, you view people that are in these status, you're like, oh my God, look at all the things. And I'm grateful. Let me tell you, I'm grateful for what I've been able to accomplish. But I'm also know that it wasn't always easy. But I'm here to stand as a testimony that is possible. It's possible to go through a divorce, and there's life after divorce. I thought that nobody would want to hear me because I grew up in, the church, and I was like, man, I'm divorced now, and nobody's going to want to hear anything that I have to say. No one's going to listen to me. I'm not going to coach nobody, but I'm here as a testimony that I've been through a divorce. I'm raising 2 children. I live in a state with no family, but God will sustain you and God will help you. I went through COVID, and I was able to manage. I've been in business for the last 6 years, and there were days I didn't know how I was going to pay my rent. I'm paying 2 rents. Let's be honest, the first of the month, that's $4,000 that comes out of my pocket. Out rip. That's a month, and how I'm making some days, I'll be like, Lord. But you know what? I'm grateful because God comes through every single time. And sometimes it takes a couple years, they tell you, for your baby to sustain itself.
Yes.
And so I'll be honest, I'm still in the sustaining stage, but I'm also in a recovery stage because in the spaces that I was not sustaining, I started helping somebody else. And so because I neglected my baby, I told you I suffered. I took a big L financially. And so I'm trying to recover and sustain all at the same time. So I'm here as a witness that God will help you navigate it. And as I begin to go through it, I said, God, forgive me for not being a good steward over what you gave me. I had to ask God to forgive me. God, forgive me for not being a good steward. But I know that in this next season, I'm going to steward well my finances, my business, my relationships, my connections. I'm going to steward them well. And I want to encourage you guys to do the same thing. Steward your babies well, steward your connections well, steward your relationships well, steward your circles well, so that you can get that baby out of you.
And guys, as we get ready to close out, once again, get your book, get your copy of the book, get this boom, get this baby out of me,
Yeah.
and let it bless you. Also, there's some other things in the book we didn't even get to cover, but there one thing I do want to let you know, that the book has scripture in it. It's biblically based in the fact of, even when you go through it, let's say you're trying to figure out about time resources, she has prayers that are already written in here. Literally, there's like story times in here where she gets personal. There's testimonial times in here, so
Yeah.
you'll have like sections about testimonies that you'll read. And then there's a lot of prayers in here. So even if you don't have the words to say, or you're not sure what
That's
to pray
good.
for in regards to your baby or your business, entrepreneurship, there are prayers in here that you can say that really guide you through the process, that give you the words as well. So definitely keep that in mind as well, guys, that the book has other things in here besides what we discussed today. And the author that, of course, we've had on here, if you're just tuning in, is Pastor Takara Nicole, who is the pastor over Life at the Well Ministries,
Yeah.
but she is also a coach. She's an author. She has a lot coming up. If you missed anything or you came late, we need you to go back and watch all over it again. We
Yeah.
had an awesome time this
Awesome.
morning here at Coach Steele's Finance Training. I appreciate everyone for tuning in. Yes, Anitra Stewart, your baby well. I appreciate everyone with their comments, their thought process. If you come into this late, and let's say you're watching it an hour from now or 2 weeks from now, please still leave your comments, because why? We will go back and read them. We
Yeah.
will go back if you have questions, concerns, thoughts. We'll come back and respond to you as well.
Does
So,
anybody have a question really quickly?
oh
I know
yeah,
we gotta
definitely.
go. I don't have to be at work just this second, but does anybody have a question
Yes.
that they would like
Yeah.
to be answered? Or anything, a question about vision, purpose, something that you would like to know? Um, yeah, anything before we go.
Yes, definitely. I meant to say that too. Thank you. Are there when it any questions at all, whether it's business, whether it's entrepreneurship, you name it, or if it's questions about the book or things that Takara has coming up, throw your questions at us, especially her, not me. But throw your questions this way, and we'll definitely answer them. So I'll give y'all some time to write in some questions or some thoughts. And like I said, this is a blessing. When I use Coach Steele's finance training, I also want to talk about financial literacy all the time. But there are people who are in entrepreneurship. There are people that are writing books. There are people that are coaching. And all of that has layers of financial literacy in it, right? So even when it comes to writing a book, you didn't do this like for free. Like, you had to invest in yourself.
Yeah.
There are things that you had to pay for. Matter of fact, I remember when we went to your book signing,
Yeah.
and I think I have a picture of it here. There's books laid out. There's a table. All of that stuff cost. You had a thing over there where we took pictures. I forgot what it's called.
The banner.
Yeah, the banner, all of that. Like, when it comes to financial literacy and diving and making this investment, it came with a price. And I don't know, how much detail you can go into that, but I don't know. You can talk about a little bit where you feel comfortable discussing it.
Okay, yeah. Oh, yes, definitely. So definitely the book writing, I mean, the book writing process, of course, is more so you. But the editing and the publishing aspect of things is where things get to be very expensive. Finding a good editor, one that definitely can is going to navigate through the book like you need it to. I designed the cover like I told them, but of course that price and of course the purchase of the books, and just like being able to navigate the coaching aspect of the books and all that kind of stuff, like it's definitely pricey. So it's definitely an investment though, that we have that you're gonna make. And those of you that are like, I want to write a book, it's not impossible. But just know that it's an investment. So sometimes, hear me, sometimes in order for you to receive a harvest, it's going to require you to plant a seed. And so you can't be afraid to plant a seed if you need the harvest, right? That's Coach Steele. You can't be afraid. That's his lane. But I'm gonna tell you, you can't be. Let me tell y'all something. I would never tell y'all to do something I ain't never did. I've been coached. right? Still got a coach, because every coach needs a coach, because I have not obtained all the things that, I believe that where I want to be. But every coach needs a coach. So I would never tell you guys to do something I've never done. I've never had a mentor, never had accountability. I got coaches, mentors, and accountability, because they all have their proper place. And so when you're trying to get to the next level, I remember not last year, but the year before that, I literally spent $25,000 between coaching and courses, because I was like, I got to get somewhere. I got to get to the next level. And so, because I'm trying to get to the next level, I'm trying to go somewhere, I had to make that investment of 25. I can show you the receipts. Okay. One class alone was $8,000, but I had somewhere I was trying to be, and it could not be delayed. Um, let's see.
Kenya said, how can you obtain business credit to finance the vision?
You want to talk about it?
Sure, just a little bit.
Okay.
Well, honestly, there are creative ways to finance your vision. Some people will do business credit. Some people will create a business, LLC, whatever form, and then they can go to, a financial institution or private lending, and they will then at that point, you get at your DUNS number. The whole, there's more details to it, different things that you have to put in place. So when you set up your business entity, your structure, there's ways to get business credit. But what I would do also is not limit myself to the traditional way. And I was talking about this on a different platform. I think, matter of fact, you were there as well.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, it was Plan and Prosper, when we were talking about getting money for your business. I was saying you can actually go find friends. There are people who have money sitting around, Kenya, and they actually want to invest it in something. And so you actually can ask friends, your circle, or whether it's doctors, lawyers, people that have money sitting around. You can write up a plan with them, some type of partnership, and they will actually invest into your business because they're expecting a return. And so if everything's in black and white and you two are on the same page, you won't even have to run to a bank to get money. There are people around you that you would least expect that are looking to invest in something, and they want a certain return, whether it's 10%, you name it, and you can cut a deal and get funding faster than going through the process of getting financing from a bank.
Yeah. And also being creative is like, sometimes we try to start so big with things. And so the reality is, sometimes if you start smaller, okay, hear me, start smaller. Some of y'all trying to throw these, when you're trying to throw like major and big events and all this kind of thing, start small so that you can build up the capital and pretty much treat it like a snowball effect. The same way you would do debt, treat your business the same way. And so sometimes what you can do is like, just do a small event that doesn't cost you a lot of money. You may cook your own food, you may do your own thing, you might get someone that's kind of local, like start small, do some things that are more so online versus doing in person, so that you don't stretch your finances. And so what you can do is take the money that you raise from that and let that roll into something else. Also, you can create a digital product. That's another way, right? Talk about a book. Creating a digital product is another way that you can get funds. So get something that you can sell. Use that money. I think a lot of times too is like, we want things to be kind of fast, and that's just like, sometimes fast is not always the case either, because even when getting a business line of credit, they're going to want to see that you're profitable. And so sometimes in the beginning, you're not profitable. And so sometimes just taking that thing slow and finding creative ways to do what you want to do without all of the extra expenses that come with it, so that you can build up your own capital that's going to help you reach that goal.
And when it comes to building up, like Kenya, when it comes to getting that money for what you're trying to do, it also depends on what you're trying to do, what that amount is, and how soon is that vision. Like, let's say someone wants you to host an event or set up everything at that event, or whatever it is that you're doing, whether it's catering. There are some people, instead of going through the process to get business credit, which may take them 30 days, 60 days, whatever it is, some people may just decide to use a credit card, depending. And I'm not saying that that's what you should do, but there are certain credit card companies, and I'm not a professional when it comes to what credit cards to use. Some credit card companies will give you 25,000 line of credit card, or 10,000 or 40,000, or you may have to take a couple of them. if you truly know what you're going to do is going to be profitable, there are so many ways to just go ahead and have access to money, whether you connect with the right people and or whether you decide to use a credit card. I'm gonna front this on this card, and then when I get paid or compensated by whoever is contracting me out, then I'm gonna pay this card off and
Yeah.
keep the profits. Or use the card, or like we were talking to someone the other day, whatever it is, let's say you're hosting an event or whatever for someone or setting stuff up, ask for a portion of the money up front. What's the word I'm looking for? Down
Deposit.
payment. Yeah, deposit. So they give you that deposit. You might be able to work with that deposit and make some things shake, and then they still pay you on the back end as well. So there's all type of creative ways to do financing and get the job done, besides just having to wait a long process, depending on what you're trying to do.
Yep. Thank y'all. I want to say thank you
to
you. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say thank you guys that have purchased the book already. I appreciate y'all. I can see y'all. And
yeah, there was somebody else, Timothy. He said that. Do you know Timothy?
I do.
Okay, cool.
Yes. So thank y'all so much. Those of you that are purchasing the book, I appreciate y'all so much. But it's more of an investment in yourself. I like what Anitra said. She said, start small so that you can build up capital. Do not despise small beginnings. Starting small helps you to be more manageable. Absolutely. And I talk about that in detail in the book, and how important it is for us to start small. You don't realize how starting small actually helps you to be able to navigate and to build something bigger. When you try to take on too much, a lot of times, something goes lacking or something doesn't get done. And so do what you can do, and one thing I'll tell you guys, we've been in an accountability group, and I told them the same way you count your money is the same way you have to count your time. Right.
Yeah.
And so being able to go back and look in your life and say, how much time do you actually have to devote to certain things helps you to stop wasting time. And so when people tell me, oh, I don't have time, there's a thing on your phone. If you have an iPhone, it'll tell you how much time you spent doing certain things. And I remember like going back and I'm like, man, like you can go and see like 4 hours scrolling on Facebook, 5 hours. And so when people tell me I don't have time, I'm like, how you don't have time? You know what I'm saying? There's no way you don't have time to do the things you need to do. You got the time, but you have to be willing to make the time and make the sacrifices for the time.
I think that might be all the questions. I don't see any more on my end. If you see any, then feel free to dive in there. But I definitely appreciate everyone for tuning in. Someone on here, I think it was Tara Joy, mentioned saying we need your information too, Simon. And I will quickly give it, but I wanted to make sure that this was Takara's time to put out her information and stuff. But as I do every Saturday morning, like you're tuning in now, I go live every Saturday morning, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time Zone, from about 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. And so we talk about financial literacy. I'll have guests that come in, and some type of way what they have to do or say ties into financial literacy. I will have in the future, and I have them lined up, tons of entrepreneurs that will be on here talking about finances, money, business. I have tax professionals that will be coming on here talking about things like that. And then, of course, in the comment section, Takara has also put her information in here, TakaraNicole.com. I see that is on there. And she mentioned earlier some other ways to be able to reach out and connect with her and order the book. Remember, guys, we are giving away $50, $10, $15, and $25. A giveaway when I was going to reach 400 subscribers. I woke up this morning, we were already at 400 on YouTube, and now we're probably a little over that number. So next Saturday, I'm going to be doing the giveaway. If you want to be a part of the giveaway with the different names in the cup, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel and send me an email. And in that email, make sure you put the title of at least one of the videos on my YouTube channel. And if you need my email address, it's down there at the bottom, coachsteelefinance@gmail.com, coachsteelefinance@gmail.com. So feel free to email me, reach out to me, and continue to be a subscriber and tune into the channel. But most importantly, I want y'all to show some love to our author that we have in the building, which is Pastor Takara Nicole, Life at the Well. You see the phone number. You see the email address. I am Takara Nicole at gmail.com. This is a classic. This is a banger. This is a winner. We had some heat today. Guys, get this baby out of me. Get this boom. I need you all to order. I need you to run it up. Everybody get the book. And then after you read the book, when you go back and listen to this, you might catch stuff that you didn't even catch originally in the interview. So other than that, guys, I appreciate you tuning in. And I will let Takara have the last word, and then we will sign off.
Thank you so much, Coach Steele, for having me. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you to his audience for tuning in and listening today. Thank you for those of you that have been following, that are watching today. Thank you for all your comments, your love, and your encouragement. I truly, truly appreciate it. And so I want you guys to go get this book so that you can get this baby out of you. 2025 is our year, y'all. And it's going to happen with our ability to come together and band together and collaborate. We know there's tons of things happening in the economy, but if we learn how to come together and build together, like me and Coach Steele, we've been able to build together, like we can take over the world, y'all. We literally can. I don't put no limits on what God can do. And so go get your book, get this baby out of me. And I love y'all. Go follow me. If you're not following me already, go drop a line in the website. If you're interested in the courses, hit me up. And I look forward to hearing from you guys.
All right, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. Be blessed. Get this baby out of me.